What's up, y'all? It's Shuffle, and today we're doing a skills tier list. So we have to use the Butcher's Circus one because for some reason there's not a regular tier list for skills in Darkest Dungeon, but that's what we're going with. So we are going to do the normal S through, I guess, ABC trash, and then we have a top 10 and bottom 10 that we will do afterwards. So if you like this kind of stuff, obviously keep doing what you've been doing, keep watching, keep clicking all of the buttons, follow the social media stuff in the box below and whatnot. So thank you, and now let us get started with this. So I've organized them. Well, actually they're already nicely organized by class. The only one that's different is Stygian's Embrace, which is not a normal occultist skill, so this is going to be Hands of the Abyss for us. And we're going to start with Abomination. So Abomination is interesting because he gets all of his skills at the same time. Transform is A. I'm going to try and go through these quicker than I normally do. But otherwise, good stat boosts. The stress always stays like a static 8, which kind of sucks. And in Torchless, this is not usually a button to press, so that's kind of ass. But the rest of it is nice. Some good bonuses. Manacles is also A. Manacles, like, if you have Broken Key or Padlock, this gets to S, but like you need trinkets for that. So baseline, it's only average. Its redeeming quality is that Abomination has really good base damage, and it can reach rank 3, so that's pretty cool. Bile is B. It's not bad. It has some synergy with Plague Doctor and Grave Robber and stuff. It doesn't do quite enough damage. You could argue it's C. It's probably C, honestly. It's okay damage. It hits awkward ranks. I don't like those mid-range cleaves, so there you go. Absolution, S. Absolution is amazing. It doesn't heal as much as Solemnity for HP, but Abomination does have an issue with stress, so having this is just nice. It is very nice to have. Rake. Where's Rake? Put Rake in A. So at level 5, this gets a little better because it charges up and does a lot of bonus damage. So after like 2 swings, I think it's positive at level 5. So that's pretty cool. This is really good against anything that spawns ads like Collector or Shambler, for instance. So really nice. Rage, B. Accuracy's not good. Has a decent crit modifier. Carried by Abomination's pretty good baseline damage stats. Slam is B as well. I kind of wish this was better. It has a damage penalty and has like really low accuracy, so that kind of sucks. And next, I guess, is Antiquarian. Nervous Stab is B. Nervous Stab is kind of cool. Like, her base damage is bad, but you can use it out of rank 4 to hit rank 3, so that's actually pretty nice. So if you want to go like Slugger, Antiquarian, there you go. Festering is A. It can hit everything from anywhere, I believe, so that's actually really good. And at later levels, the blight damage is pretty respectable. Get Down is... I'm going to put B. Get Down is not... It's not great. The stats are kind of good on paper, but you're not hitting this for the stats. You're hitting this to move. And the more I thought about it, there aren't things that move you back in this game. There's Shadow Fade, and like, that's it. Might be one other thing, but a lot of things move you forward. Very few things move you backwards. So that makes Get Down a little bit better just because it's one of the few back moves in the game. That's actually pretty good. Flash Powder, S tier. This is really good because most consistent teams have like 1 or 2 stuns in them, and that leaves 1 or 2 mega threats that get Flash Powder, and it scales better than the Dodge Vapors, and Antiquarian has a lot of trinkets that get her debuff chance, or she has 2. So that's really good. So this can always be used, and early game it's better than Vapors, the Dodge Vapors, and late game it's still pretty solid, especially when more things have stealth. Heals B. The resistance bonuses are nice. With trinkets, it heals an okay amount, but otherwise, this doesn't even heal you out of a dot tick putting you on Death's Door afterwards, which kind of makes it not good. So it needs trinkets, and that means I guess I can't put it higher. Dodge Vapors, I think, are A, right? Yeah. They start off kind of weak, but then they get pretty strong by the end, and they enable some really, great dodge strats, which if you get like 2 Antiquarians or like a Man-at-Arms with Shard Dust, you spam that. You just have, you know, a really strong dodge team. Divina Commedia with solo spam is another one. And dodge, you know, if you get over like 80% dodge against enemies, you just break the game. Like, ideally you want to get them down to like 10 or 5% chance to hit you, but you get like past 80, you're fine. You're gonna just wreck stuff with like minimal risk. Protect Me, S tier. This is an amazing move because guard's already a powerful mechanic, but only 2 characters get it. Now everyone gets guard. Put this on Highwayman or anyone that has Riposte. I guess that's just 2 classes in the base game, and you just destroy stuff. For Arbalest, now Sniper Shot is S tier. Gets a bunch of bonuses. Arb doesn't have like great base damage, but this doubles it at max level and gives her a ton of crit on top. Just really powerful, and even though her base damage isn't that good, this shreds backliners with the mark, and that's good enough. Suppressing Fire is a B. The concept is good, because one shot of this and anything in the backline is not critting you, unless it's like Torchless Blood Moon, and that's, you know, that's a thing. But otherwise, it would be higher if it used to hit rank 2 like it used to, and also if the debuff lasted 3 turns. It only lasts 2, and I don't quite know why. And backline enemies usually have decent accuracy, so you have to hit this twice for them to start missing you consistently, and it's too slow. Like, because Arb is such a slow character, she can't get this on turn 1 before they get to do anything, so they get 1 hit against you, like, guaranteed, and that's not good enough for a move like that. Like, if this was on Bounty Hunter or something that can get up to like 10 speed, really good, but since Arb is like 5 base, not that good. The Mark, very disappointing skill. I'm gonna put it in C. I'm gonna put it in trash. It's nice that it is a mark, but she can only use it from the back and she can't hit rank 1. And like every other mark in the game can hit everywhere except Come Hither. And the purpose of marks in that situation is I can't reach this spot, so I'm going to give bonus damage so I'm still contributing to the team. So that's why Mark for Death is interesting, because you can hit rank 4, and Arb can't hit rank 1. So that means that Arb spends the first 2 turns shooting and then she's healing. She doesn't get to mark rank 1 and help blow up some frontliner, and that kind of sucks ass. The Bolas, also C. I guess these are C, and then I moved that to trash, but Bola, the movement chance is low and it's awkward because sometimes you can move rank 1 and not rank 2, and then like most frontliners in rank 3 can still do some stuff, like they're not completely destroyed. So it's only like rank 4 when most frontliners can't do anything. Like, Cultist Sprawler gets Stumble Scratch, so that's okay, but it's not guaranteed, and the chance is too low, and the damage penalty is just too crappy. Blind Fire, B. The speed boost is nice. The damage penalty is, like, it's a thing. It's not a huge deal. The lower base accuracy is what makes this kind of bad, but obviously it's Blind Fire, so there you go. Bandage. Bandage is S. Lower levels, the effective healing isn't that good, but you can hit this, you know, once, and you basically gave yourself a healing trinket, or you gave your whole team a healing trinket against that one person, which is really powerful. Hit it twice, you're putting out some really good numbers. Hit it 3 times, you're capped on bonus healing, I believe. Which is really good. You have Medic Screams, it's fantastic. This is a really good move, and it lets Arb solo heal, which a lot of people don't do, surprisingly, but she is an effective solo healer, so definitely try Bandage. Flare. Flare's a B. The effects of Flare are really good. It's just Arb is so slow that sometimes like the Mark Synergy characters go first, or your characters recover from stun, and she can't cleanse that. It also doesn't hit her, which is kind of stupid. And then the chance for stress healing is not guaranteed, and the stealth, the removing of stealth, the move has to hit them. I have a clip in my Sins video where there are 2 enemies that had stealth, and I missed both of them with Flare, and they just sat in stealth. So I can't put it up higher than this, but there is one instance in the game where this completely wins. Like, this wins against a certain boss, and after that, its applications are nice when you get them, but you don't always get them. Next is Bounty Hunter. So the Collect Bounty, this is an A move. The bonus damage is fantastic. The human tribal tag is what makes this really good. because most moves that only just do damage, I'm going to put them in B or sometimes lower, but this is a move that, since it has the human tribal tag, there are a lot of human type enemies in the game, which makes this a lot better. So this is a really good move. Mark for Death is also A. It's not as strong in the prot shredding as Target Whistle, but it gives Bounty Hunter some speed, which is kind of nice. So you could argue S, but I think it's good in A. It's a really good move. Come hither. It's B. I think the mark lasts 2 turns instead of 3, which kind of diminishes this. And the accuracy's solid, but you kind of need kill list to make it like as good as possible. And that's like a trinket you're not guaranteed to get. And it's good. It's good for the movement. It's not so much good for the mark, it's better for the movement. So if I think about it as the movement move, I think I can still put it in A. It's a really good move. You just have to find spots for it. And I think if you think it's like a really bad move, really try and lean into this. Like, try and lean into the movement part more than the mark part, and you might be pleasantly surprised. Uppercut. Continuing our trend of A tier. Uppercut's really good. If you punch a rank 2 back into rank 4, they're basically gone for 3 turns. Because the first turn they're stunned, the second turn they have to use a movement move to get back to 3. And if they can't use a good move out of 3, then you've stunned them 3 times instead of twice. And that's pretty cool. That's very powerful. The reason it's not S is because... Actually, I guess it could be S. It doesn't really fall off. They're always frontline targets in most fights, so there you go. Flashbang. Where do I put Flash? S. The potential to throw a rank 4 into rank 1 with this, it's not high, but it's there. And it's kind of like how we just said with Uppercut. If you punch a rank 2 into rank 4, they're done. You flashbang a rank 3 or a rank 4 into rank 1, they're done. And it's really good. And the stun chance is higher than Uppercut, which makes this very good. Flashbang used to be able to hit rank 1, and they changed that. Rightfully so, because it was definitely overpowered that way. Finish him. A tier. The damage bonus is weird, because if you stun something, you don't want to hit them. You want to get the stun value. You don't stun something for damage bonus. That's what makes this weird. The reason it's A is because Bounty Hunter has some really solid damage, and this lets you hit rank 3. So it's reach, and reach is good. Rank 3 from Bounty Hunter to rank 3 of the enemy team, nice. Very nice for this. Caltrops. I wanted to justify putting this in S, but I couldn't. But it's definitely an A tier thing, because it's not a move you take to hallway fights that often, because it's just not that good there. This is a boss killing move. You find plenty of bosses that sit in the back, you hit them with Caltrops, and you just like unload on them. Mark synergy, Iron Swan, damage over time. Caltrops get so much value, and then it lowers their speed and puts a bleed on top of it. Really good move, and has some good synergy with kill list. You might want to run like debuff amulet on top of that to make sure everything sticks, but it's really good. This is a very good move, and I feel like it's slept on. Next up is Crusader. Smite is B tier. Unholy aren't that common, and it's a solid move overall. It just hits stuff. Zealous is trash. I don't know why this isn't a melee move. It's a range move on a character that has like all melee attacks, and then it doesn't get bonus damage against Unholy, and the minus 40% on the damage bonus is pretty bad, and it's always cleaving frontliners. Frontline cleaves are not that good. Stunning Blow is S. This hits really hard because Crusader has really good base damage, and then the stun chance is fine. The accuracy is okay. It's like +5 over Smite. Really good move overall. Bulwark is interesting. It has its spots, but most of the time it's just not that good. Like, it gets better later because more enemies focus mark synergy, and it's a lot of prot. But Crusader isn't too much in danger of dying from, like, you know, getting punched for 50 that often. It's usually like Bleed and Blight that stack up on him. So it's solid. It's also a lot of Torch, but it's just too weird to use. It like has very niche circumstances. Battle Heal, where did I put this? A. So this heal is actually really good. It doesn't heal for a large amount, but it heals for enough to get you past a Death's Door check if you're bleeding. So what I'm saying is, like, you get hit with some, you know, punch, like Cultist Brawler, that bleeds you, and you get punched down to 0, and so, or maybe 1, and then the bleed ticks, and then you go down to 0, you're on Death's Door. This can heal you past dogs. Yes, this can heal you past dogs. No, this can heal you past Death's Door. So if you hit 4, mostly it'll do that. Or if you have a healing trinket, then you're past Death's Door pretty comfortably, which is good because you don't want to chain Death's Door repeatedly. That's just not good for you. And the other good part about this is Crusader can use this from anywhere to heal anything. That is really good for a single heal. Only, actually a lot of the other single heals have this, so like Flagellant and Occultist, but not Arbalest, which kind of makes hers a little bit worse, but it's still really good. So being able to heal anything from anywhere, really good, and I think it's pretty underrated in that regard. Holy Lance, once this could hit rank 2, this was an S tier move. This lets Crusader cheat. So the reason I don't like Arb so much to shoot backliners outside of Mark is because their damage is kind of low. Crusader and Hellion can both cheat and take their huge damage stats, same with Shieldbreaker, and hit backliners. That's what makes Holy Lance so good, is you're taking frontline damage into backline enemies. Very powerful. It can hit rank 2. It's a dance move, so Crusader's never out of position. You can make dance teams with it. Crusader's really slow, so you can run a faster dancer like Highwayman and use Duelist Advance and then Holy Lance. That's a very common one. So it's a really good move in general, and it's still got all the same bonuses that Smite does, I believe, in terms of the unholy damage, and then it's like same like neutral damage modifier, same accuracy, and I think it has like higher crit chance. So this is a really good move. Inspiring Cry. This is another S. So it's good. If you're not bleeding, you're off Death's Door. It also heals stress. It can crit and heal for more. Just awesome. And Torch gives you bonus Torch, which saves you money. You know, you hit this 4 times or whatever it is, that's a Torch. That's 75 gold you didn't have to spend or whatever it is. Flagellant. Punish is... It's a solid attack move. It has a ton of bleed on top, and it debuffs bleed resist, so that's good. Just good overall. Rain of Sorrows, another A. The on-hit damage isn't that high, but it's good to crush backlines along with like Plague Doctor. Very powerful. Xang, also A. I kind of wanted to put this in S, but like if you ever miss Xang, you just hate it. So that is a big thing. So it's still good. It's the highest like damage over time effect in the game. It can hit pretty hard. If it crits, this is like 60 damage on its own, and it heals you. Really powerful. So you could argue S, but I'm gonna leave it in A. Reclaim, S tier. One of the comments I get pretty often in my videos compared to like other skills comments is that I convert people into how good this move is, and it is. The only bad levels for it I think are like 1 and 3. Otherwise, like 2, 4, and 5, it's pretty strong healing for the bleed, like the bleed trade-off. So Reclaim is really good. You can use it from anywhere. It's healing over time. It's proactive healing. So if you're going to take some damage coming up, you can just drop this on someone. And it can keep up with most damage over time effects, which means that since I believe this procs first, you won't bleed out if someone has this on top of them. So it's really good. This is a very powerful move. And if you, as long as you're paying attention to Flagellant's health so he doesn't kill himself with this, it's fantastic. So definitely try it if you have not tried it before. Redeem. Like the heal value is really good, but I still think it's a B. Because there are a lot of times you get caught where you're 40% health or lower, you can hit Xang, or if you don't have Xang, you can hit this. But sometimes no one else on the team is taking damage, and that's weird. And so when you get in those situations, this move feels kind of bad. But its efficiency is really good if you get both sides of the healing. Otherwise, I don't think I can put it in A. Endure. Where's Endure? Also B. The net stress heal is kind of small. So you have to do things like Ancestor Scroll or reduce stress on Flagellant. But it's pretty good. It's better than not having a stress heal, I'll tell you that. And if you're trying to like push Rapturous for some reason, this is an easy way to do it. You just keep hitting this every single turn in a fight. You will get Rapturous at some point. Suffer is trash. It used to be pretty solid, but now it's just like, it's bad. Like, why mark yourself? You know, you have Antiquarian to mark you if you really wanted to. You have Reclaim if you want to give yourself bleed. You don't have to like siphon it from other people, so it's not that good. The stress reduction is kind of nice on top of it, but that's about it. Alright, so next is Grave Robber. Pick is a pretty terrible move. The reason it goes to B is because like it has armor piercing, which is nice. It has a damage penalty, which is just awful. And I can't justify that damage penalty on someone that has kind of low base damage already. Lunge is S. So Lunge is obviously very powerful. That's why Grave Robber is called the Lunge Bot. It does a ton of damage. It moves too. So that's really good. And it's something to build around. So very good skill. Flashing Daggers is C. It is a mid-range cleave, so it's kind of crappy in that regard. It has like the bleed penalty, like why? Or the bleed resist down, like why does it have that? Who cares about synergizing with Jester? Because Jester and Grave Robber don't go that well together. So I don't like it that much. Shadow Fade is A. I thought about putting this in B. But the upside damage bonuses are nice, and just kind of like how Antiquarian can move back to. This is one of the other few moves, if not the only other move, that can move heroes backwards. Okay, no, Point Blank Shot, that's another one. But this can move you backwards by 2 spaces, really powerful. And between this and Lunge, Grave Robber is never out of position, and she can help other people fix their positioning, which is pretty nice. Throw Dagger is B. Same reason I don't like Pick to the face. I don't like Throw Dagger. It's a damage penalty on someone that has a low base damage already, and it's got bonus accuracy for some reason when they could just give it an extra like 5 or 10 accuracy baseline and she wouldn't need that buff. She only has one other range move. No, 2. She has Flashing Daggers and Darts. You're not really using those in conjunction. Like, I don't think I'm going to hit Throw Dagger to get accuracy bonus for my other moves. That's just kind of weird. So it's good for its reach. That's about it. But then it has that damage penalty, which is just kind of bad. I'm not a fan. Poison Darts. I believe I put this in S. I did. This is a really good move. I think this one is kind of slept on too. It's Blight over 4 turns, which not that good in a hallway fight, but against bosses where damage over time excels, this means you can get more damage like quickly. It ramps up, or not, it's not that it ramps up quickly, but it goes through the duration faster if they have multiple actions, which is pretty nice. And if it crits, it goes up to 6 turns. So the on-hit at level 5 is 16, or I shouldn't say the on-hit. The damage over time is 16 at level 5 because of, I think, 4x4. Then the on-hit's okay for another, like, 3 or so. So it's about 20 damage, like, per dart. And if it crits, it goes up to 28, plus the other on-hits. So it's actually very powerful. I like this quite a lot. And if you're going to be chain blighting the same target, then it gets better, especially with darts. And also, since it lasts so long, Grave Robber can set up her own lunge with this to get blight synergy. Not great, not something you want to do that often, but good. Still a good synergy to have. Toxin. Did I put this? No, it's trash. So Toxin's just really bad. The bonuses are kind of nice if you go into dodge comp, but you want Grave Robber to be hitting stuff every turn. You can justify Shadow Fade because it's double damage. So you're losing 1 turn to deal double damage, so that's not a bad trade-off. Trickery just doesn't have enough juice in the squeeze. And then you don't want her curing her own bleed and blight, blight and bleed. I don't know, I can't even say it. You don't want her curing her own status. You'd rather have like Plague Doctor or items do that. So trickery is just kind of bad. Alright, Hellion's next. So Hellion, Wicked Hack is solid. Her base damage is good, but it's just like a hit stuff attack, so that's kind of whatever. And you move down now, find stuff. So we have Swan is S. This is like Wicked Hack with more crit that can hit the backline, but that is really powerful. So you can take Hellion's massive damage, kind of like Crusader with Holy Lance, and hit rank 4 and do a ton of damage, and that's very good. Yop, where's Yop? A. So Yop is A. I'd put it in S because it's a double stun, but it debuffs Hellion, and the stalling potential is nice. You could argue it's still S. It might still be S, honestly. I don't know, but I'm going to leave it in A. Just really good overall. Good to have. Always finds use in a battle. If it bleeds... Where did I put this? Put it in S. Damn. I don't know if this is S. I'm going to put it in S because the damage overall is good because of Hellion's on-hit damage, but I think she can use it out of rank 3. So being able to use it out of rank 3 for a character like Hellion, who usually wants to be in rank 1, is pretty freaking good. So it gives her something to do if she gets shuffled, and you don't want to use Breakthrough. I think Breakthrough's coming up too. Speaking of Breakthrough, I wanted to put this in trash, but it's not. It's C. It's not a great move. You don't want to cleave the front line, because that's where all the protection is on the enemy team. And it debuffs Hellion. So it's really just for the movement. And otherwise, unless you're doing like Pain Train shenanigans, it's not that great. Adrenaline is B. It's a nice self-heal. It cures her own stuff, but it heals on top, so that makes it a lot better than Trickery. And then it buffs her for like next turn. So it has like this compounding effect. So you hit Adrenaline, your Bleed Out or Yop debuff ticks down for another turn, and then you heal yourself, and then you give yourself bonus damage. So it has a lot of compounding effects. I like that a lot. Bleed Out, I was not on the Bleed Out train at first, but I'm on the Bleed Out train. This move is incredible. Like, it has some big conditions, like having to be up front, but it has so much damage output, and the fact that Hellion's crit buff is more damage against bleeding targets alongside Bleed Out's huge crit modifier means that you don't care about the damage penalty. Bleed Out already has a bonus 20% on top, just naturally. So once you hit it 3 times, that's when it's starting to diminish in value. But if you're critting, you're still positive damage. So spamming this, really, really, really good. And if you haven't tried Bleed Out, use it. Really good against certain enemies, very good against bosses. So whoever made this list got it backwards for this part, because I think they did the abbreviation that most of us do, where Highwayman is HWM instead of like HO. It's actually HI. But we're going to do Houndmaster first anyway. So I need to move my notes a little bit. Hound's Rush is actually S. It's almost as good as Sniper Shot. I think it has less crit, but it's got the Beast tag, which is pretty nice. So bonus damage against those. And then there's a Bleed on top. So that's actually really good. Very strong move. Can hit anything too. Can even hit rank 1. Hound's Harry is B. Cleaves in general aren't that strong, but it's a solid cleave. You could argue it's A. It's just hard to get like the most value out of it. Usually you use this to like snipe something that's low health and then do damage to other stuff, so that's kind of good, but this is a move you don't have to take every time. You won't really notice if you don't. Target Whistle, best mark in the game. Has 30% higher, 30% higher chance to stick debuffs than other marks, which is just stupid. And, you know, really powerful. Also, highest amount of protection reduction at 30. Very powerful move. Cry Havoc, pretty bad until later levels. Then it's okay, but it's pretty bad before then. It's not consistent stress healing, which is just awful. Guard, I'm going to put an A, because guards are just powerful in general. I put it in S if the guard lasted more than, I think, 1 turn. That's pretty freaking terrible. And this actually got me killed in my Torchless run the other day, because I forgot that it lasted 1 turn. So, goodbye Shield Breaker. The heal is actually probably one of the worst single target heals, or like self heals. It's, I'm going to put it in C. It's good in a pinch, but it's just not worth doing, honestly. If it could be used from rank 1, it might be B. Blackjack, I think, is S. Yeah. So it's a pretty good stun. It can reach rank 3. So it's one of those few stuns that can. It's not like a dedicated backline stun. So it's got a lot of reach, and the stun chance is pretty high. Highwayman. So Wicked Slice, I almost put it in B. I'm going to put it in A because it has like bonus damage. So that makes it pretty strong. Pistol Shot. It's good for the reach. Damage penalty isn't that low. Pretty solid overall. Point Blank Shot, the more I play, the more this feels like a trap. Because you'd rather be like using Pistol Shot or Open Vein if they have prot. So I don't like to open with this. I usually like to use Duelist Advance like twice and have like a dance team or something. So it's not that good. It's a lot of damage if you can get someone squishy up to the front, but that's about it. Grape Shot. I was going to put this in trash, I think, but I'm going to put it in... I do put it in trash. Accuracy's not good enough. The crits received is whatever. It's just, it's not good. And you can only use it out of 2 and 3. If you could use it out of rank 4, I'd put it in C. Otherwise, it's just bad. Like, it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's got a crit buff that's kind of whatever. You'd rather be doing more damage with Highwayman, and then it cleaves the front, which has more protection. Tracking shot. This is going to long fight. Outside of long fights, it's not as good. Lower levels, it's not as strong either, but later levels, it's pretty powerful for an upside, and I think it de-stealths, so that's not bad. Duelist, this is S. It's movement. You can use it from everywhere that's not the front. And it gives you riposte. Even though the accuracy is not that high on Highwayman's riposte, it's still very strong. It breaks action economy. It's a bunch of extra damage the more you can set it up. So it's just very powerful in general. Open Vein. I'm going to put this in S2. It debuffs speed, and you can use that at rank 3. So both those things are just really good. So if you want to debuff them, do some solid damage over time, it's good. The reason it's better than Wicked Slice is because you can set up stalling with Open Vein. So if like they have 5 HP, when you bleed them with this, you know, they're alive for 2 turns, so you can like stun them that turn, and then you get an extra turn of healing, which is pretty nice. So it's just good. It's a very good move. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for this one, so thanks for watching. We'll do the other half of the characters after, plus the top 10. I just need to take a little break, so there you go. Follow all the normal social media stuff down below. So Twitch, Patreon, Discord, click all those links, become fantastic, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.